It's working now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiret Nasprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कंचना गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की जय संबल भक्त विंद की जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna
how is
Prabhu.
everybody doing Prabhu Satya Prabhu thank you for joining
Prabhuji, we are doing great. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dhanuman Pranam.
Dandavad Mataji can we post the message that session has started if anybody else
Yes, Prabhuji, I
Sadhujanand
already.
Prabhu and Manohar Prabhu is planning to join too so they will
Yes,
also start coming.
yes, Prabhuji. I will text them, but I already posted in the group. I will
Nice,
text them
nice.
prior.
Thank you. Thank you. No, no, that's good enough. If
Yes.
you did
And
it on the group.
Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
I
Yeah.
was talking to Anjan Prabhu also. He is also interested, so he also will
Add
join.
him. Add him to the group. Anjan Prabhu should also be part of this.
Yeah,
Yes.
I will add him. I will
Yes,
add him.
Mataji. Please add him.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
whoever wants to hear Bhagavatam, they should hear Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So today we are going to start chapter 8. And my goal is to finish it today because most of the content of this chapter we have gone through. But the same message is coming through different disciplic succession. And once I get to that point, then I'll emphasize it, talk about it. So this chapter is titled as Manifestation of Lord Brahma from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So Maitreya Muni and Vidura, they are having conversation. And Vidura asked, I'm very interested to hear Krishna Katha, and I'm very interested to understand how this material universe came into existence. So Maitreya Muni is answering in a way that satisfy both the need. Krishna Katha at the same time answer his questions about creation. So when Vidura is asking about creation, he asks about Sarga and Visarga, primary creation and secondary creation. Primary creation is coming from Lord Vishnu, Karnodakshai Vishnu, and secondary is coming from Lord Brahma. So Maitreya Muni has to introduce Lord Brahma before he talks about secondary creation. So that's the purpose of this chapter. This chapter is basically going to tell us about how Lord Brahma manifested. So in the very first few verses, Maitreya Muni is talking about how he heard this story. That is the authenticity. Bhagavatam. Narrator narrator is always going to tell how he heard about it. What is the source from which he received that information? And then he starts talking about creation and then Lord Brahma's birth and then beauty of Garbhodakshai Vishnu because Lord Brahma came from the navel of Lord Vishnu. So that's the basically discussion of this chapter. So we'll get into chapter. So first and foremost, Maitreya Muni talks about disciplic succession. He says, Sat Sevaneo Bat Purubamashu Yal Lokapalo 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 here. Who is Lokapalo? Bhagavat Pradhana. Yal Lokapalo Bahu Babhu Vite Ajitah Kirtimalam Pade Pade Nutanasya Vikshanam. First, he appreciates. He appreciates Vidura. Thank you so much for everything that you have been asking. So we see this again and again in Bhagavatam that when sages are being asked questions, first they appreciate. Thank you. Thank you for asking. We have seen that in case of Sutta Goswami and Sanakadi Rishi when they're asking questions, similar thing. When Prakshit Maharaj starts talking to Sukdev Goswami, similar thing. When Vidura is talking to Maitreya Muni, similar thing. When Narad is talking to Ritu Maharaj, similar thing. So again and again, again and again. So devotee are very happy. In 10th canto, there is one verse that says that anybody who narrate the pastime of Krishna, one who ask questions after hearing the narration, and one who are hearing the narration, all of them get benefited. So Srota, the one who is hearing, Prikshaka, the one who is asking, and Vakta, the one who is narrating. And then this verse says that they get benefit in accordance. So Pravakta, Vakta gets the highest benefit. And then the one who is asking question, they get the second highest benefit. Because in order for you to ask question, you have to listen. So asking question is also sign that you have listened carefully. And then the third is listener. They also get benefit because they are listening. The pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this particular verse, Maitreya Muni is appreciating. He says that the entire Puruvamsho, Shat Shevaniyo Pat Puruvamsho, Puru or Kaurava, one says both Kaurav and Pandav. He says they are worth worshipping. That's what he says. The entire dynasty of Kuru, the second point that I would like to make, is worth worshipping. Oh my gosh, how? I mean, we just saw that Dhritarashtra was so mean with with Vidura. Duryodhana is so mean with Vidura. Dhritarashtra could have saved. As a king, he should have said that, no, no, no. Vidura, to Duryodhana, stop. You cannot say like that. He's my brother. You cannot insult him. You cannot humiliate him. But all of that happened to Vidura. He was insulted. He was humiliated. Vidura, being the pure devotee, he just took that as a mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he moved on. So Maitreya Muni is saying here that the entire Puru Vamsha is worth worshipping. How come? How Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana is worth worshipping? And if this question will be asked, how you answer that? Maitreya Muni says, because yala loko palo bhagavad pradhana. Because of you, he says. O Vidura, because of you, this entire Puru dynasty is worth worshipping. Why? Because in your life, Bhagavat Pradhana, very, very simple word. You have given prominency to Bhagwan. You put Lord Krishna on top. You chosen Lord Krishna amidst everything that you had to choose from. So due to you, he says, because of you, since you are Bhagavat Pradhana, because of you, this entire Puru dynasty is worth of worship.
That
How
too,
did you?
though is a Sudra maid servant, no? He born with maid servant.
Right.
Even then he was given importance for Maitreya.
Yeah, and this, Varnashram is still within the guna. So one who has taken the process of devotional service, that person is no longer belonging to any varna or any ashrama. A pure devotee has nothing to do with this varna and ashram. Varna and ashram is only meaningful as long as one is limited to the rituals of the varna and ashram. So Shudra and Brahmin, once they are given the opportunity to do bhakti, there is no difference. So, yeah, I mean, Maitreya Muni is not appreciating from that perspective, but he's just appreciating because he is a devotee of Krishna. In Ramayana also, Lord Ramchandji, it's the eaten berry that is tasted by Sabari, and he takes immense pleasure. So there are multiple instances in Bhagavatam where person is being appreciated just for their pure devotion. When Dhruv Maharaj is given benediction by Lord Vishnu, he says that you should be a Lord personally instruct that you should be very thankful to your stepmother Shuniti, because she is the one who inspired you to come to here. Many devotees, when they do their offering to Srila Prabhupada, they say, we are very thankful to the wife of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada asked that, which one you prefer, tea or me? And she said, tea. Prabhupada said, okay, thank you. Wrapped everything up and left. If Prabhupada would not have left his house, would not have come to America, today we would not be getting the chance to become Krishna conscious. So, many places you would see, this theme of Bhagavatam comes, where pure devotee is fully dependent on the will of Krishna. They will accept. Okay, move on. Not too much. And Krishna works accordingly also. Where Krishna knows the heart of his devotee and then he fulfills. So this is beautiful, uh, segment that I wanted to discuss. That Maitreya Muni is saying here that entire Puru Vamsa is worth worshipping because you, as Vidura here, have given priority of devotional service in your life. So anyone who has some intention towards devotional service, when, when Nrsimhadev Bhagwan comes in front of Prahlad Maharaj has a concern. He was worrying, what will happen to my demoniac father? Nrsimhadev said, don't worry. 21 generation up and 21 generation below. All of them are fully liberated because you are devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Bhagavat Pradhanaha, in every situation, in every condition, we have to take the shelter of what is right. Guru Shastra Sadhu Vakya, Dineta Kariya Yakya. Give a pause and think, what is right that I can do? So that's one thing. The second thing that I wanted to talk, and series of verses, we'll talk about it, but I just wanted to give you the summary that any discussions, any faith, value system, summary we say, that we develop, the value system comes through a parampara. If it is coming through a parampara, then that's the system you should believe. So in Bhagavatam, there are multiple lineage, multiple branches through which the discussion of Bhagavatam is being told by devotee. Like for example, one branch is Lord Vishnu told the narration to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma told to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni told to Vyasdev, and then Vyasdev told it to Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami saying to Parikshit Maharaj, like that. There is this is one line. But here, Maitreya Muni has a different line. And the line of disciplic succession for Maitreya Muni is that four Kumaras is going to Sankarsana. So Vasudeva, there are Chaturbhiha, Dutiya Chaturbhiha, and Pratham Chaturbhiha. So Dutiya Chaturbhiha, Sankarsana, Pardumna, Vasudeva. So so four Kumara is talking to Sankarsan. That Sankarsan from whom Karnadakshai Vishnu comes. I have shown you the slide multiple times. So this is different lineage now. Four Kumaras are talking to Sankarsana, and Sankarsan is telling that how Lord Brahma came into existence. The story that the verses and narration that we are going to see, which most of us know, but what's the story of Lord Brahma coming into existence? That's why I just want to tell you the story. So Sankarsan is talking to four Kumaras, and four Kumara talks to their disciple Sankhya Muni. And Sankhya Muni is talking that narration to Parashar, who is father of Vyasdev. And Parashar Muni taught Maitreya. So Parashar Muni is a spiritual master of Vyasdev and Maitreya Muni. Vyasdev and Maitreya Muni are god brothers. So in assembly of narration, when our Guru Maharaj is saying something, so many of our god brothers and god sisters are hearing, right? So like that. So Maitreya Muni heard it from Parasar Muni. And now Maitreya Muni is telling this truth to Vidura. So this is the disciplic succession presented here. So this is a different disciplic succession that normally we hear. But one of the very important learning here is that any knowledge base that we have, any knowledge base that we gain, Guru Shastra and Sadhu, that knowledge base should come from a disciplic succession. That's another very important point. And when we are talking about disciplic succession, we have to raise ourselves to go and get the teaching, not challenge. Not challenging. If you challenge, then we lost the purpose. So we have to raise ourselves and learn what they are talking about. And you would see one of the thing that I love about this entire discussions that so far I have been studying and learning is it's very consistent. Very, very, very consistent. So when Narad Muni is talking to Vyasdev, and when poor Kumara is talking to Sankhya Muni, they'll talk the same thing. Sometimes we might not start from the beginning. We just somewhere in the middle, we tap into, and we might understand that we don't have the sufficient background, why, from where it's coming and where it's heading. We might feel like that this is something being told differently. Even if it's told differently, as long as it's coming from the bona fide disciplic succession, one's responsibility is to step up to that teaching. And if you can do that, perfected. You have perfected your life. That's all. That's all. Okay. We have perfected our life when we step up to the standard that is set by disciplic succession. So exactly here we are seeing that it might appear little bit different disciplic succession, but the story is same because Maitreya Rishi is coming into different line of succession. He's coming into Maitreya to Prasar, and Prasar to Sankhya Muni, and Sankhya Muni to Kumara, and then Kumara ultimately the source of everything is Supreme Personality of God and Himself, Sankarsana. So that's the discussion. You will see a series of verses are talking about that. Okay. So once this disciplic succession thing is done, then the discussion moves into how this creation came into the existence. And we have heard about that, we have learned about it, that there are three Purusha of entire material creation, and that is Karnadakshay Vishnu. And then he creates, he expands to sustain and support the each and every universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And half of that universe, half of that universe is filled with his sweating, and then he lies down on the Chira, Chir Sagar, Sagar of not the Chira, but Sagar of his sweating. And half of that is this planetary system. And this entire creation is like a lotus petal. So if you go to the fifth canto and see the schematic that our devotees have tried to put it, it's like lotus stem, lotus and a stem. So half of this universe also. That's why when you say that if you shrunk down, keep on going down, 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 at the end, after all of these higher planetary system, Bhutala, Patala, there is body of water. And that's why in 11, 12th chapter, you will hear that Hirnyaksha push this earth, Bhumandala, to that body of water, which is called the Garbha ocean. So each universe, and there are infinite many universes coming out of core of Lord Karna's, Karna Vishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu. So in that Garbha ocean, Karno Vishnu, Karnodakshaya Vishnu expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, lies down with Mother Lakshmi. So this is the picture. This is the picture you can see. This ocean that you are seeing where Lord Garbhodak, this is Lord Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, being very technical. This picture, now you will say Vishnu Narayan, they will say, but this is basically Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay. And he is lying down. And there is nothing, just the half this universe is filled up with Garbha ocean, water, and there is nothing. Okay. And this stem that you see, this stem is basically this material universe. So that's what happens. Lord comes to this material world, this material universe, and he lies down on Garbha ocean, and then from his navel, lotus stem come. And then from that stem, Lord Brahma comes out. So when Lord Brahma is coming out, he's called, Pratham Purusha. He sees nothing. He sees nothing. But all he sees is a lotus petal. He's on the top of a lotus, then he sees lotus petal. So he tries to change that lotus petal. And he keep on trying. So when Lord Brahma comes, he sees this petal here. So he changes this petal and keep on changing, but he would never find the source. So now in the picture, this is like just, maybe 2-inch type of, lotus petal. But Shastra says that this is so long that Lord Brahma could never figure it out. So he wanted to find out what is my source of creation, from where I came, Atato Brahm Jigyasa, right? That's the question that every living entity should ask. So he tries to find out the source, but he did not. He couldn't. So then he gets tired. That, this is something that I'm just giving the essential teaching, okay? You have heard this story, and I'll give you some of the key points that we have to get out of this. I have made 2 important points. Third point I'm going to make. So he comes out and then he hears the word tapa, tapa, tapa. And then 1,000 celestial years, solar year time that we have on this material world, he does the tapasya. And then by that tapasya, Lord appears in front of him. So this is the third point. Bhaktya mam avijanati. Krishna says that only devotee will know me. Doesn't matter who that person is, how powerful we have become in the material world, how much opulence we have, but nothing will help us understand the truth. So much. This Bhagavatam is very deep. Nothing will understand us the truth. Intelligence may help us become victorious, but ultimately bhakti will win. So Brahma tries to find the source of his creation. It's Lord Brahma. He is considered the intelligence most personality in each universe. Nobody is smarter than him. He Did not figure it out. But he saw Lord personally when he engaged in devotional service. So that is another important point that we have to remember, that whatever we cannot achieve with our personal endeavor, bhakti will help us understand, get there. It proves the concept that one should be engaged in performing the devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then after he met Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu, then this fourth Chatusloki verse that we studied in second canto, ninth chapter, Lord told him that who Lord Brahma is, who he is, and what is the purpose of his creation. Lord Garbhodakshai Vishnu told him that his purpose of creation is that you should take charge of secondary creation. Lord empowered him. So without empowerment, this is the fourth point. Without empowerment of Supreme Personality of Godhead, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Punah musko bhava. All the resources, all the facility, all the intelligence, all the opulence, everything will be at your feet. But you can't move a needle unless and until Krishna empowers it. When we are studying 8th chapter, first canto, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is lamenting, pure devotee laments, thinks that I am the cause of all the suffering. He's lamenting. I don't want to be king. Although he's he's all knower, he's knowing that he is not the real cause. But still, due to his attachment to Supreme Lord, he's thinking like that I'm the cause. I'm the one who is cause of all of these killings. Lord Krishna says, why not? You go and talk to Vispitama. He will tell you. He will teach you. He will pacify you. He will tell you what is the cause of lamentation. And then when Yudhishthira Maharaj meets Vispitama spoke three verses, 17, 18, 19, in the ninth chapter. Those three verses are powerful verses. He says that everybody thinks that I am the doer. Everybody. So you thinking that all of that happened because of you also tells that you have some doership mentality. But don't worry, he says. Don't worry. Everything is being managed by Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is cause of all the causes. Things are moving. Things are happening. The air you see, air is moving. Weather is coming. Snowing, cold, winter. The sukh dukh. Says ordinary people get caught into this. I'm the doer. I did this. I did this. I did. Vishnu says, come out of this whole thing. This is different types of doer mentality. The actual doer is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why this beautiful verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha, Anadi Adir Govinda, Sarvakaran Karnam. This sounds very simple verse, but this verse has everything. This verse essentially has given everything. So Vishwadama says that cause of all causes, Sarvakaran Karnam, is this Ishwar Brahma Krishna, this Parameshwar Bhagavan Sri Krishna, is Swayam Rupa, he is cause of all the causes. So you can have some primary, cause, secondary cause, tertiary cause, whatever cause you can come up with. But ultimately, you should know that the real doer is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So go, Then he says in verse number 19, he says, go and very nicely, very carefully, remembering Krishna all the time, rule the kingdom of Hastinapur. Don't worry. Your duty is to be righteous. Always remember the feet of Krishna, knowing that he is all doer. Go and rule. Vishwadharma says to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, how great king he was. Don't get up too much, don't get too much caught up this doer mentality. Through you, things are manifesting. But ultimately, you should give all the credit to Supreme Lord. He has given you the opportunity to engage in his service. So all of us should think like that. Whoever thinks doer today or tomorrow, sure that mentality will be vanquished. Krishna is all active, all working. But if we just serve, thinking that he's the doer, I'm just given the opportunity to serve my dear Lord. That's the source of my happiness, that I'm engaged in your service, then miracles will happen. So Lord Brahma is being taught by Lord himself that go and do the creation. But before, our Acharya says, before Lord Brahma was engaged and empowered to do the creation, he had to do tapasya. He had to work on his devotion. So our Acharya says that that if the foundation is bhakti, then empowerment comes from Lord himself. So that's another point that I wanted to mention. A lot of learning from this chapter. And then Lord Brahma goes and he takes all that primary element that is created by Karnadakshai Vishnu, and he starts putting things together. He says in the first canto, we have discussed about that when this universe was created, it was like a dead matter. No functionality, no movement, nothing. Just like, dead. You can just imagine. I also can't know that how it will look like when everything is created, but it's like just dead matter. And it started functioning as soon as Karnadakshai Vishnu expanded and entered as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Then it agitated. Bhagavatam says functionality started happening. Some of that discussion we'll hear when Kapil Dev is talking to Mother Devavati. He tells some of these things too. Lord Brahma created, now I'm talking to secondary creation, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma created all of these living beings, the planets. Nothing was in functionality. Now, how you and I know that? From Bhagavatam, from disciplic success. The teaching that Maitreya Muni is giving to Vidura. Things were stagnant. Unless and until Garbhodakshai Vishnu expanded as Paramatma, Kshirodakshai Vishnu that we call it, and entered into the heart of each and every living entity. Then they started having their possessions, possessive quality, whatever quality they have, diamond and dust, right? Diamond is very precious, very extremely precious. Dust has no value. But these values started existing due to entrance of Lord. Okay, so that's what the teaching is. Lord Brahma himself, being so powerful person, he's meditating And we had that discussion. He's meditating upon someone. Then Narad Muni is coming and asking, I thought you are the supreme person who you are worshipping to. Then we had that discussion. Lord Brahma says this is just a false understanding. Somebody who understands me as a creator has falsely understood. In fact, I have only taken the secondary element and manipulated it and given the different form. And even that form and feature that I have given, that has also been empowered by Supreme Lord. So in fact, the real creator is Lord himself. That's what Lord Brahma, accepts. So this is what, we are seeing here. The series of verses are talking that thing. Lord Brahma is searching after Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu is speaking to Lord Brahma and empowering him. And then in that also, there is some discussion about how beauty, Lord is for sure very beautiful, right? Lord has to be very beautiful. So the beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, is mentioned in a series of verses. Okay, so that's how this chapter uh, finishes. So his waist, his dhoti, his garland, what is the flower that the garland is made of, all of that, is being mentioned here in series of verses. But that's the content of this chapter. Okay. With that, I would like to give a pause and see if there is any realization, anything anybody has. You can read these, series of verses, translation to understand how beautiful was the form of Bodhakshaya Vishnu. In fact, this is the segment here in Bhagavatam where the beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead is mentioned. And that beauty as perceived by Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, when he has performed devotion, Premanjana Shuritena, have you heard that, right? When eye is tinged with prem, then when we see Bilochana, when we see from that eyes how beautiful the form of the Lord is going to appear. Rajakoti Thakur has really enjoyed when he writes the commentary of these verses. He he goes very deep. He says, Lord is so beautiful. His dhoti is like thousands of the lights are shining. So Rajakoti Thakur takes full enjoyment, full pleasure in appreciating the form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Why? Because this form is being perceived by devotee, by Lord Brahma. Many times, people think why we are worshipping Krishna Balram, Nitya Nataraja. They have been looking like that over years and years and years and years. What is there? They don't see the value. But if you ask a devotee, they'll say, oh, they are the personality. They're directly, they're receiving, they're perceiving, they are hearing, they are everything that you do in front of them. They are eating, they're talking. You express your heart, my dear Lord, I need your mercy, please save me. I'm suffering, he'll save you. He'll come save. So he's Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's Bhagwan. But outsider say, why too much, you all have nothing to do. He sounds like a fanatic person. It's not about fanaticism, it's about faith. Forget about this is cheap word. Calling devotee, fanatism. This is very material word. A devotee should never use that type of cheap word for devotee. This is coming. We have molded ourselves to be like the way we are, the way you all are. You have molded, you are working on it. You are coming for Bhagavatam class, you are in Bhagavatam class, you are refining your life. After 20, 30 years of your refinement, somebody comes and tells that, oh, this is just fanatism. How you will feel about it? First, you try. See if you can be like this. You cannot unless and until Krishna chooses. And unless and until Krishna decides, Brahmanda Brahmitte Kono Bhagyavan. I always said this verse. Bahunam Janma Namante Gyanvan Parpadante. Krishna says, Vasudevam Sarvamiti Samhatmana Sadurlabha. These are these are not ordinary thing. So Lord Brahma, when sees Bhagavatakshai Vishnu, he can see the beauty, right? For you and I, just a schematic. Oh, this is what is there? Vishnajakoti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Siddhar Swami, this saintly person, when they narrate and when they talk about the beauty of Bhagavatakshai Vishnu, they really go deeper, very, very deep, and they enjoy it. So that's the theme of this chapter. Okay, beautiful darshan of Lord Bhagavatakshai Vishnu. And then at the end of this chapter, it says that Lord Brahma, thus being surcharged with the mode of passion, become inclined to create. And after seeing the 5 causes of creation indicated by the personality of Godhead, he began to offer his respectful prayer on the path of the creative mentality. I don't know, I have 5 minutes, I can talk about that. So now you see here, this is very important point also. That will be my last point, maybe. Since I read this verse, I can tell you. The philosophy that we follow is Yukt Vairagya. What is the philosophy? What is the philosophy? Can somebody say? Yukt Vairagya. Achinta Ved Aved Tattva. Mahaprabhu said, our philosophy is Achinta Ved Aved Tattva. And Yukt Vairagya. You know what is the meaning of this term Yukta and Vairagya? Yukta is possession. Okay? And Vairagya is renunciation. How it's possible? Yukt Vairagya. How it's possible? You have possession, at the same time you have renunciation. That is the teaching of Brahma, the Gauriya Sampradaya. That you have the possession, the same time you are fully renounced. So things moves only when there is some attachment to it. At the same time, you are not attached to the result of it. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That do your duty, but don't attach to the result. How you can do the duty? Unless and until you show some attachment. Attachment will drive things, but not being attached to the result. So Lord Brahma did devotional service. Don't you think that Lord will not give his darshan unless and until one is beyond this guna? What is the answer? Yes. Taraguna Visaya Vedanyastra Gunna Bhavarjuna. Krishna is not going to give darshan to somebody unless and until you have crossed this material guna. No way. No way. And in 5th, 6th chapter of Bhagavatam, Lord gave a glimpse to Narad Muni when the Narad Muni's pastime is coming. Say that that's all. You can only have snap of my darshan because you haven't purified sufficiently. Go, do tapasya, do bhakti, then you'll be empowered. And here we see Lord Brahma has sakshat discussion with Lord Vishnu. If Lord Vishnu will touch by his counsel to Dhruv Maharaj get enlightened and he became pure devotee. What does it mean, pure devotee? Person who is in Suddha Sattva. So Lord Brahma is not the person in the passion. So very important to understand. Sometimes this is very important concept, very, very important concept. We see sometimes people will say Sataguna is Lord Vishnu and Rajaguna is Lord Brahma and Tamoguna is Lord Shiva. These personality have nothing to do with this guna. Nothing to do with this guna. It's not good. A devotee of Lord Shiva should not say that my dear Lord is master of Tamoguna. Think Lord Shiva is master of Tamoguna? That's wrong. That's why our Acharya says that unless and until there is pure devotion, they think that they are doing bhakti, but they are offensing. They are doing offense. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that you see that Mundamala that Durga has, Kali has. Who is this Mundas? All of his Mundas are the Mundas of the followers of Mother Kali. You know why? Because while they are thinking that they are worshipping Mother Kali, they are offending Mother Kali. This is very high topic. Again, I don't want to get into it. I don't have time, but just wanted to give a glimpse of it. That Lord, thinking that Lord Shiva is in Tamoguna and Lord Brahma is in Rajaguna and Lord Vishnu is in the Sataguna. That's offense. They are in charge. That's different thing. That they are in charge of this guna, but they have nothing to do with these gunas. That's Yukta Vairagya. So when we say that Lord Brahma was surcharged with the mode of passion, that doesn't mean that he becomes Rajaguni. Lord Brahma is never Rajaguni. Never ever Rajaguni. Okay? But since he had to do creation, he had to create lower living entity, higher living entity. He had to create saintly person. He had to create the lions and other creature who are going to eat meat. How you create that? To create a lion and tiger and leopard who are very much relying on meat eating, you have to have you have to come up with those structure that will let them live, right? So this type of thinking can happen only when somebody is empowered with that particular guna, and that is action happens in rajaguna. Okay, so when somebody is, this is another important concept you have to learn, you have to understand. It comes when you have that insightful seeing. So Lord Brahma is executing this material creation to come down in the mode of rajaguna. Uttama adhikari cannot preach. He has to come down to madhma adhikari. Okay, he cannot preach because Utmadikari says everybody is devotee. So who to preach? He sees only good quality. Suni Chaiva Sopakecha, Pandita Samadarshina. He's so pandit, he's so learned that Suni or Sopake, a dog or dog eater, he sees same. He says all of them are. So what he will say to the dog or what he will say to the dog eater? They all are. So he has to calm down. And then he come down and become Madhmadikari. So what Madhmadikari does? Prem, Maitri, Daya, Upeksha. Prem, Maitri, Daya, Upeksha. He comes down to Madhmadikari and he now has to do Prema. He has to do Maitri. He has to do Daya. He has to do Upeksha. So that's what the discussion is being, given here. That Lord Brahma is coming down for the sake of creation. And then
Prabhu,
he creates.
Prabhu, I need to drop now. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, you can drop. So that's the theme of this discussion. Okay. So Lord Brahma is not the person in the mode of Rajo. Rather, he takes the responsibility to come down and do this creation. Okay. So with that, Lord Brahma starts, doing the creation. And before he does his creation, he prays to Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So next chapter, we'll quickly try to get through that. And then all of that technical discussions will come, time and a small atom, how they came into the existence. So we'll try to very quickly go through that. But we are concluding the chapter 8 today. And if you are planning to get the certificate, please work on your homework. I don't have multiple homework yet, received by devotees. I don't know how many of you are even planning to get the certificate, but that's all. I think I would like to conclude here, and I'll see you all next Saturday.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol Prabhu.
Prabhuji, one previous slide, there was one point. Lord is considered as a tree, self-sitting tree or something.
Which one, Prabhu? I don't know which one did you
Yeah,
see.
here. He was self-situated tree.
Where?
29. That's on the 29, the translation.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so the second, yeah, he was the self-situated tree. What is the meaning here? What is the tree is compared with what to Lord?
A tree is compared because when Brahma appeared in front of Lord Vishnu, or Lord Vishnu appeared in front of Lord Brahma, Lord has, so tree is basically here compared with the vastness. Okay. No, so when you get in front of the tree, it appears vaster, bigger than you and I are. Okay. So when Lord Gaudaksha Vishnu appeared, he is sleeping on the causal ocean, and Lord Brahma saw the greatness, the physical, structure of Lord Gaudaksha Vishnu, which was vast. So it appeared to him like a self-situated tree, means something that is much, much bigger than what he was able to, perceive or see. So that's this is just the, quantitative bigness of Supreme Lord. How big,
Got it.
like if you go in, and especially, this is short. This is basically like banyan tree. Have you seen banyan tree? You go there, you will see like so big. Banyan trees are very big, right? Really big. Really big. You'll see everywhere there is root, everywhere there is branches. So like that, that's the resemblance there. That when Lord Brahma saw uh, Prabhupada Vishnu, he said, oh my gosh, so big, Lord. Lord appeared very big, decorated with fragrant flowers and branches. Lord body was decorated with valuable jewels and pearls. He is the Lord of all, everyone in this universe.
Got it. Thank you,
Just
Prabhuji.
like that. And then the example is given that, sandalwood tree is covered with the many snakes. So the Lord's body was also covered by the hoods of Ananta. So these are some of the, example given. That one thing that our acharyas have done, or in the Sastic discussion, you would see that the intent of all of these writings are to teach us, right? So the examples are given like that. You have seen tree, so you can connect with the tree. If they would use some bigger word, I would not know what exactly. So sometimes these words are used so that you and I can grasp the message. Okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji.
Hare
Got it.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So we can adjourn here, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. It was a nice
Panchkalpa
class.
Taruvesa Kripa Sindhu Vaivasa Patitanam Pavane Vaishnava